So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to get settled in. We are just moments from getting underway. I hear from Drew Parker at the in-gate. Our first horse is on the way down the hill. So as is customary in sporting events throughout the country, I'd like to ask you to all please stand, if you would, for our national anthem. And we are set to get underway with competition. Please get settled and welcome our first in this afternoon's competition. Here's Caitlin Campbell. She rides the Sweet Oak Farm entry Belize DVZ, an 11-year-old Zangerside mare, once again owned by the Sweet Oak Farm out of Wellington, Florida. Caitlin, the individual and team gold medalist from the Young Rider Championships just a few years ago. Top Young Rider competitor, has been in top 10 position on several occasions so far this year on the Desert Tour. Rails coming down at 4 and 7 there. We're picking up 4 time faults as well. We'll monitor this first round time allowed But 75.808 is the time taken here, and that's a score of 12. Joining us next here, second to go, it's Craig Starr. He rides Mandy Porter's entry Dilexento, an 11-year-old Dutch-bred gelding. Here's Craig Starr and Dilexento. In 2018, Craig traveled to the north, had some great finishes in top 10 placings during the Denver Tour Summer in the Rockies. Now it's Dilexento and Craig Starr. And unfortunately, that is off course. There'll be no score here for Craig Starr and Dilexento. So again, that reference time from our first to go here, 75.808, time allowed of 72 seconds. We will monitor that first time allowed here, but our first ride, our first to go, Caitlin Campbell and Belize Divezed, finishing in a time of 75.808. Those of you in the VIP tent, I want to make sure that you take a look around at some of those beautiful life-size paintings. Susie Burgess has painted these. These pieces are proudly offered for purchase. You can get more information at the VIP check-in. She also does customized paintings. And our next rider needing just a moment more of preparation. But let me tell you a little about Medivet Equine. They specialize in regenerative treatments that help the body heal and regain strength. Medivet Equine's revolutionary products encourage and enhance healing throughout the whole horse. As original developers of the breakthrough Medivet ACS, Medivet Equine is proud to offer a systemic preventative approach to whole horse wellness that effectively fights lameness, reduces recovery time after exercise, and provides a natural, more comprehensive approach to managing pain and inflammation. For more information about Medivet Equine, you can go to medivetequine.com. So our next rider, needing just a moment more, will be looking to see Nicole Shahinian Simpson. She rides the Silver Raven Farms entry Hakuna Matata. Nicole, definitely one of the most experienced competitors in this afternoon's field, a 6-time World Cup Finals competitor. She, of course, represented the United States at the World Equestrian Games in Jerez in 2002. Already this year in the winner's circle aboard Hakuna Matata, had a Grand Prix win in Wellington, Florida earlier this year. Just moments away now from welcoming our next competitor here in the $40,000 Kindred Bio Grand Prix. Now, we do have an interesting situation. 4 of our competitors here are also under 25 competitors. We are running, in essence, 2 competitions in one. The riders, of course, will just jump one time, but they are competing not only for their share of the prize in the Kindred Bio Grand Prix, but also looking for a score in the U25 class. So I'll let you know who those are when they join us in the ring, but looking for the points to garner towards championships at the end of this year in U25 competition. We have 4 riders competing for those sought-after points in the U25 section. So I'll be letting you know as they join us here in the ring. But right now, we'll look to see Nicole Shahinian-Simpson and Akuna Matata on their way in the gate. Another sponsor of the Temecula Valley National Show Series is Aon. Aon's a leading global professional services firm. They provide a broad range of risk, retirement, and health solutions. At Aon, they pride themselves in their ability to honor professional commitments. Across Aon, they are united to provide their customers with consistent, high-quality, high-value, and engaging experiences. To learn more, stop by their trailer that's just up next to Hunter Ring 1, or you can always go to their website. That's aon.com. And when you are up there by the Hunter Ring, stop by Hunter Ring 2 as well. CWD, who's a sponsor here, has their tent, or their booth, I should say, set up right next to Hunter Ring 2. You can have a look at some of their beautiful saddles, see their innovative products for yourself, and even begin the saddle fitting process. CWD, a high-end cellular dedicated to riders sporting performances by providing saddles for champions around the world. So actually, I've heard now, we hear from the schooling area that it will not, in fact, be Nicole Shahinian-Simpson. Joining us now and graciously moving up in the order, it'll be Sarina Anand of Trabuco Canyon. She rides her own entry, Cochabamba. Serena is one of those riders also competing for the U25. That's under 25 years old, competing for the score in the U25 section. So joining us now here, Serena Anand and Cochabamba, entry number 590. This combination already with great top 10 finishes in U25 competition throughout the Desert Tour earlier this year, as well as at Blenheim in San Juan Capistrano just in the past month. Serena Anand and Cochabamba. Well, we've got 16 faults. We see 4 rails coming down. 74,141 is the time taken. Now, again, reminding you, we are still monitoring that first round time allowed. Time allowed is 72 seconds. We've had references now of 74 and 75. Total score for Serena Anand and Cochabamba, 19. They'll pick up 3 time faults, 16 over the jumps. Here's Hakuna Matata now, and Nicole Shahanian Simpson up for the Silver Raven Farms of Malibu. I gave you her introduction a moment ago. Again, already a Grand Prix win in Wellington, Florida earlier this year. A 6-time World Cup finalist. And a winner just a few weeks ago of the $100,000 Grand Prix on the Gold Tour at Blenheim. Hakuna Matata and Nicole Shahanian Simpson. And there we have our first fault-free effort, a beautiful ride from Nikki Simpson. 71,124 is the reference, keeping in mind it's a time of 72. We are going to adjust this first round time allowed. Now, we will adjust the first round time. We're going to go up to 75. 75 now, the time allowed. So we'll adjust the score for Serena Anand and Cochabamba. Now just a 16 fault score. Caitlin Campbell and Belize Divez standing on 9. So here we go now with Chandler Meadows, Chandler from Newport Beach, and the 11-year-old Dutch-bred gelding, Damien. Chandler very competitive in the amateur circuit on the Desert Tour earlier this year, moving into FEI competition, competing in the Bronze Tour in San Juan Capistrano. Chandler Meadows and Damien. So we saw 2 rails down on the course. The verticals at 2 and 8. 8 jumping faults. Now we'll look to the clock as well. 76.691. So we'll pick up 2 time penalties. It's a score of 10 here for Chandler and Damien. A 10 fault score. One of our professional competitors now in the field. Here's John Bragg. He rides NKH Quanto, 13-year-old Holsteiner gelding, owned by Caruso and Bragg of Beverly Hills. John is one of the top hunter riders on the West Coast, doing equally as well earlier this year on the Desert Tour with good starts weekly in Grand Prix competition. Now it's NKH Quanto and John Bragg. So we see the first fence coming down. Always a heartbreak there. Then a circle before fence 2. It's a score of 8 over the jumps. We'll pick up 17 time faults as well here. 25 is the total for John Bragg and NKH Quanto. Joining us now at the first of 2 rides that he has in this afternoon's class, Olympic gold medalist. Here's Will Simpson and Chicharito. Chicharito is a 10-year-old Oldenburg geld owned by Will Simpson and Chicharito. Not only the team gold medalist from the Olympic Games in Beijing, Will's a 4-time World Cup finalist. Chicharito, just 10 years old, is by the great show jumping stallion Chaco Blue. Will Simpson, first of 2 rides. Chicharito. Just the single knockdown at that airy AIG vertical, the one there with the Liverpool, a 4-fault total. 74,934, just within our 75-second time allowed, and a score of just 4. That'll go into second. Now it's our first score of 4.
Mandy on 720, Mandy 720.
One of the busier riders in this afternoon's Grand Prix. First of 3 rides here for Mandy Porter of Encinitas. This is Karamo Zed, an 11-year-old Zangerside gelding, and Mandy Porter. Mandy, of course, a 3-time World Cup finalist. She's also a past winner of the AIG $1 Million Grand Prix in Coachella. She won 2 of the Grand Prix here in Temecula in the inaugural year, 2018. Mandy Porter with the first of 3 rides here this afternoon. It's Karama Z. Two knockdowns on the course for Mandy. A score of 8, picking up 1 on the clock as well. We look to the clock, 75,499. It's a 9-fault score. Mandy will be back, still 2 to ride here this afternoon. Another of our riders with multiple entries. This is Ali Leopold Moreno. Aboard Phyllis Thomas's entry, Valentino du Soleil, a 10-year-old Celle Francais. This combination starting out their year with a good top 10 finish week 7 on the Desert Tour. Ali Leopold Moreno, the first of 2 rides here, Valentino du Soleil. Well, a bit bit of a misstep there at fence number 10. It's a single knockdown and a single time fault, 75,008, and a score of 5. That still goes into third at this point. Here's the first of 2 rides for Nikolai Chaim Bruce. Nikolai rides for Spruce Meadows Limited of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He's aboard Cadillac. The first of 2 here for Nikolai. Nikolai represents Denmark. Now the resident trainer at Spruce Meadows in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and the first of 2 rides here for Nikolai. Beautifully jumped over the fences. Unfortunately, we look to the clock, 77,292. We're going to pick up 3 time penalties. That's still good for second at this place. Just our one clear right now, Akuna Matata and Nicole Shahinian Simpson. So our one clear sitting at the top, Nicole Shahinian Simpson right now in second. Second, it's Nikolai Chaim Bruce and Cadillac. Our next competitor here represents Argentina. This is Guillermo Obligado. He rides Samia Stale's entry Tornado, a 13-year-old Swedish warm blood gelding. Guillermo represented Argentina at the World Equestrian Games in 2006, also a World Cup finalist that year. Now Tornado and Guillermo Obligado. 20 jumping will pick up 14 time faults as well. A score of 34 here for Tornado and Guillermo Obligado. Kyle King joins us next here. Another of the multiple rides, Kyle with 2 here. His first is Christian, a Westphalian stallion owned by Joyce Pedigo of Bend, Oregon. Continuous top 3 placings earlier this winter on the Desert Tour for this combination. First ride now for Kyle King. Here's Christian. And we have a jump off. 72.017 is a great time. More importantly, all the jumps are up. Kyle King and Christian are clear.
Four.
13th in our posted order now. Let's welcome Max Dolger and Staka Gold, a 9-year-old Oldenburg gelding owned by Max. Max from South Pasadena. Here's Max Dolger and Staka Gold. Good finishes throughout the winter on the Desert Tour as well as the end of last year on the Sunshine Circuit. Here's Staka Gold and Max Dolger. Three rails come down on the course. We'll pick up 1 for time as well. It's a score of 13 here for the young horse Staka Gold and Max Dolger. So right now we are guaranteed of a jump off. We've got Nicole Shahinian Simpson and Akuna Matata. Also now Kyle King and Christian With clear rounds, those two will be coming back to challenge the jump off. Equitex custom stable products are handmade in Napa, California. From stall drapes, awnings, and custom horseware to tack trunks and stable accessories, Equitex offers a wide range of personalized products for the discerning equestrian. You can contact Equitex at equitex.com to learn how you can put your business's best hoof forward. Through the gate now. This is entry number 206, Centurion, and U25 competitor Sloan Elmasian. Sloan, an amateur rider, also competing in the under 25 section. She rides her own entry Centurion, a 12-year-old Dutch-bred gelding. Good finishes throughout the winter on the Grand Prix Tour of the Desert. Now here's Sloan Elmasian and Centurion competing as well for the U25 score. Just two knockdowns and again one time fault. It's a score of 9 here, 75-9-2-2 on the clock, and a 9 fault total. That'll go into 8th place right now. Leading right now in the U25 section. So still with just our 2 clears, however, we're not even to the halfway mark in our class. Joining us now 15th in our class of 37. This is Angel Caroli. He rides Carol Rosenstein's entry April Moon. April Moon's an 11-year-old Holsteiner mare. Now here is Angel Caroli. Angel represents Venezuela in international competition, makes his home here now in the United States. He represented Venezuela at the World Equestrian Games just 4 years ago in France. April Moon, now lovely mare out of that wonderful show jumper SRF Dragonfly. Angel Caroli and April Moon. A pair of knockdowns on the course. 78.617 is the time. We'll pick up 4 time faults, and that's a score of 12. That 12 fault score going into 10th place here, and still not quite halfway through our first round. Still remaining just with those 2 clears. Right now in third, Nikolai Chaim Rus, riding the Spruce Meadows entry Cadillac. They sit in third on a score of 3. And our 4 faulter, Chicharito and Will Simpson, in the 4th position. $115, here's Irkos 4, owned and shown by Everardo Hegebisch. Irkos 4, an 11-year-old Belgium-bred gelding. Everardo makes his home in California, represents Mexico in international competition. They were a World Cup finalist at the World Cup Finals in Las Vegas in 2014. And just a few weeks ago, a top 10 finish in the AIG Million on the Desert Tour. There we have a third, a beautiful ride for Everardo Hegebisch. Irkos 4, a fault-free effort. 3 clear now in our Kindred Bio Grand Prix. So now there are 3. We'll welcome next 17th in the posted order. This is Hayden Zadel and Triskel de Kerlevin. A 12-year-old Celle Francais gelding. Triskel de Kerlevin is owned by HHZ LLC out of San Jose. Amateur competitor now, Hayden Zadel. Great finishes in amateur competition over the winter. 3 knockdowns. Right there, we had the 3 rails coming down. It's a 12 fault total. Time is good, 71,230 with 12, and that'll go into 11th place here. We'll welcome now Cassio Ribetti and Emilion de Fremy. An entry of Neil Jones of Palm Beach, Florida. Now, Emilion de Fremy and Cassio Ribetti.
612.
Cassio represents Brazil in international competition. He's been a representative at the Olympic Games in both Rio and London. Also a 3-time competitor in the World Equestrian Games. The Neil Jones entry, Emilion de Fremy and Cassio Ribetti for Brazil. Well, you know, always a great decision. Sometimes you just feel that it's not the day for your horse and no need to continue. Retiring from this afternoon's competition, saving his horse for another day. Always a good decision from a professional competitor. Here now, entry number 689, it's Costa Rica. Judy Nielsen is riding for Megan Bielinski of Henderson, Nevada. Costa Rica, a 15-year-old Holsteiner gelding. This combination, very competitive earlier in the year on the Desert Tour. Here's Costa Rica and Judy Nielsen. Single knockdown on the course there, just the one rail coming down. We'll pick up 2 for time. 76.389 is the time on the clock. 2 time faults as well. It's a score of 6 and into 7th here. Here's Katie Harris now. Katie from Wilton, California. She rides her own entry, the 10-year-old Oldenburg mare Chafleur. Entry number 376, Katie Harris and Chafleur. Chafleur, another of the horses in the competition here this afternoon by that wonderful show-jumping stallion, Choco Blue. Amateur competitor Katie Harris and Chafleur. Does a lovely round from Katie. Just a single knockdown, a light rub there. A rail comes down. 1 time fault as well. It's 75.186 is the time. That's the slower of our 5 falters. That'll go into 7th place here. Joining us next here, it's entry number 285, Acumonia. A 14-year-old Dutch warm blood gelding. Acumonia is owned and ridden by Morgan Kaplan of Oakland. Morgan and Acumonia finished up 2018 with some very good finishes, top placings in FEI competition. Morgan Kaplan now and Acumonia. Well, a little bit of indecision before the snap-back combination. A circle there, a knockdown at 10. The score is 8 over the jumps, 10 on the clock. An 18 fault total for Morgan Kaplane and Akumonia here. We'll come next to the 22nd in our posted order. Here's Julia Nagler of Oakland. She rides her own entry, Kiloseri Kidam. He's a youngster in the field, a 9-year-old, an Irish sport horse gelding. Kiloseri Kidam and Julia Nagler. This combination with a great start to their year here, already with some top 5 finishes in Grand Prix competition. Julia Nagler and Kiloseri Kidam. Oh, yeah. Julia Nagler and Kiloseri Kidam easily through the finish. Fault-free. 71.947 is a great time and clear. The second ride now for professional rider Ali Leopold Moreno. She rides Phyllis Thomas's entry, Ulysses. The 11-year-old Self-Francel gelding. Second ride for Ali here in the Grand Prix.
And if they happen to be in the top 10.
Oh my gosh, a beautiful fault-free round over the jumps. We got to look at the clock, however, 2 on the clock, but what a ride. Beautiful performance from Ali Leopold Moreno. Fault-free over the jumps, just those 2 time faults. That's good for 5th still right now. $267 here. This is Susan Artes. She rides Alex Fargo's entry, Lawrence Z, one of the younger horses in this afternoon's class, just 8 years old. He's a warm blood stallion, Susie Artes and Lawrence Z. Just the lightest rub on the vertical jumping out of the Audi combination there. Single knockdown. 4 is the score. 72,807 faster of our 2 4-fault scores. And that'll go into 7th right now. It's a beautiful round there. Just a single knockdown for Lawrence Z and Susie Artes. So we have now the 4 clears. Let's look at our list. We've got Nicole Shahinian Simpson and Akuna Matata. Kyle King with Christian. Everardo Hegevish with Irkos 4, Julia Nagler, and Kilosere Kidam. Right now, our 4 that will return for the jump off. Joining us now and hoping to make that 5, second ride in the Grand Prix for Mandy Porter. She rides for the Wild Turkey Farm of Wilsonville, Oregon. This is W.T. Kapow, a 10-year-old Holsteiner gelding, and Mandy Porter. Mandy, of course, so comfortable in this ring following her 2 wins last year in the Temecula Valley Series, winner of 2 of our Grand Prix competitions, a 3-time World Cup finalist. She rides now W.T. Kapow, looking for a clear. Darn it all. Single knockdown there at the Lugano vertical at 11. Just a rub, and the rail down. A score of 4, 72.988. Second fastest of the fours. That'll take over 8th place right now on a score of 4. $6.50 now. Here's Laura Height riding her own entry, Calypso Vidi Zuthove, an 11-year-old warm blood gelding. Now, Laura Height and Calypso Vidi Zuthove. This combination doing very well earlier this month and throughout March, riding in the Gold Tour in the Grand Prix competitions at Blenheim. Laura Height and Calypso Vidi Zuthove. A pair of rails down, a score of 8 there, 74.310 is the time. Good time for Laura. 2 knockdowns giving her the 8 total. That'll be just outside of our top placings here this afternoon.
656.
Here's 656 now. That's the number assigned to Hendrick 41. It's a 12-year-old gelding owned and ridden by Alec Lawler of Atherton. Alex spent his winter in Europe, has good finishes in FEI competition on his European tour aboard Hendrick 41. Hendrick 41 now, and Alec Lawler. We've got 3 rails down on the course. It's a score of 12. Picking up 1 time penalty as well, 75.028, just a hair over that time. 13 is the total for Alec Lawler and Hendrick 41. We welcome back now Nikolai Heimbruce, he's aboard his second ride here in this afternoon's competition. It's the Spruce Meadows entry, Coffee to Go, a 10-year-old Westphalian gelding. Nikolai already with one round here this afternoon, picking up just the 3 time penalties. Fault-free over the jumps, just the 3 for time. Two knockdowns on the course. The time is great, 70.988, and an 8-fault total that will be just outside our top 12 here this afternoon. The final now of our U25 riders. Remember, this being a class within a class. Final of those competing for both those all-important U25 points and in our Grand Prix competition. Here's Madison Bradshaw and Chaco's Spirit, a 14-year-old Hanoverian gelding. Chaco's Spirit, another of the offspring of that lovely Chaco Blue. This pair with consistent placings in Grand Prix competition throughout the winter, riding for the U25 and our Kindred Bio Grand Prix. Madison Bradshaw and Chaco's Spirit. Three knockdowns, and we'll pick up a few time faults as well. A 15-fault total, 77,509, and a score of 15. Let's welcome Will Simpson back to the ring aboard, this time Whoop-de-Doo, another of the 8-year-olds in this afternoon's competition. Whoop-de-Doo is a Hanoverian mare owned by Cox Horses LLC of Palo Alto. Whoop-de-doo is by the wonderful show-jumping stallion Mr. Whoopi, already with great finishes throughout the Desert Tour earlier this year. Now, Olympian Will Simpson and Whoop-de-doo. Oh, yeah, that's what we were looking for. Great ride from Will Simpson on the young Whoop-de-doo, fault-free. They'll join our group in the jump-off. Time is beautiful as well, 72.400, and that's clear. Kyle King is back now. He is already qualified 1 for the jump off here, hoping to make it 2. His second ride is Christine McLean's entry Etalon, a 10-year-old. This combination finishing in the top 10 just last week in the Grand Prix at Blenheim. Etalon and Kyle King. Kyle already with a fault-free round here this afternoon. "12 faults" is the score within the time, 74.072 on a score of 12. That'll be outside our top placings, but we'll see Kyle back already with 1 clear. Here now, no stranger to the winner's circle. It's Ashley Bond. She rides the Little Valley Farms entry Donatello 141, a Westphalian gelding, with whom Ashley has had so much success already. Ashley, of course, representing Israel in international competition, competed at the World Equestrian Games just last year. She's made 4 World Cup appearances. Darn it all the way to the end. It's always a heartbreak when it's just the last rail down. A 4-fault score, a great ride there, 71.816. And that is our fastest with 4 faults. Fastest of the 4s still could get a piece of the action here, 71.816 and 4. And she's in 8th currently. Here's Niall Nassar and Lordan now. Lordan, a 15-year-old Hanoverian gelding owned and ridden by Niall. Niall represents Egypt in international competition. Winner of the AIG Million. Niall's also represented Egypt at the World Equestrian Games. He's a 3-time World Cup finalist and $1 million winner. Yes, that's the way to do it. 72.373 and clear. Niall Nassar and Lordan will be back for the jump off. Niall has the distinction of being the only person to win the $1 Million Grand Prix, the HITS $1 Million Grand Prix in all 3 locations. Now looking for a win here this afternoon. Back now with the second ride, it's Cassio Rivetti and Forfilou Ducoya, a 10-year-old gelding owned by Neil Jones of Palm Beach. This gelding by the wonderful show jumping stallion For Pleasure, Cassio Rivetti now representing Brazil. Well, we have a pair of knockdowns there and a few time faults as well. It's a total of 12. A 12-fault score, 78.533 is the time. Just 3 remaining now before we move on to the tiebreaker. We've got 6 clear here this afternoon, 6 that will come back to challenge the jump-off round. 6 clears. It's Eberardo Hegovic, Julia Nagler, Nicole Shahinian-Simpson, Kyle King, Will Simpson, and now we've just added Niall Nassar to the group. Those 6 will be back for the jump-off. So it ought to be an exciting jump-off. We have finished our U25 group, that competition having finished here. We'll give you those results following the Grand Prix here this afternoon. Three remaining. While we wait for our next competitor, I do want to just let you know about Temecue Equine. They're committed to providing quality veterinary care throughout the life of your horse. They are located just across the street here. Just across the street from Galway Downs, and Neil Farushan Equisport feels so very fortunate to have them located so close. Make sure you stop by their offices at some point when you have a chance. Learn about their veterinarians and their complete line of services. That's Temecue Equine, located just across the street here. And we are hearing now from our schooling supervisor in the warm-up that our next horse on the posted order here, it's Milano and Mandy Porter. He has thrown a shoe, so of course we will give them a moment to get that shoe tacked back on. We'll hope to see one of the following riders able to move up just a bit, but to make things all fair in the competition, we will give Mandy just a moment to get that shoe tacked back on. Voltaire Design is another of the proud sponsors of the Temecula Valley National Horse Shows. Voltaire Design creates custom saddles that combine style with unique technical features. They're the saddle of choice for top rank riders showing here in Temecula, just like Mandy Porter and Ashley Bond, both of whom we've seen riding here this afternoon in their Voltaire saddles. Moving up here now in the order, a very gracious move from a quality competitor, moving up to give Mandy just a little more time. Let's welcome Viggo Björklund out of Wellington, Florida, and his own entry, Merida, a 12-year-old Irish sport horse mare. Viggo representing Sweden in international competition. He's one of our younger competitors, just 22 years old, has done very well in the European Championships for young riders throughout his career. Viggo Björklund and Merida. And we see the wave, once again, just perhaps not getting exactly the feel that he wants for the afternoon. And that's what a really experienced competitor does. If you don't feel your horse is exactly where you want them, save them for the next day. The first of the last two, again, graciously moving up to give Mandy Porter a little bit of extra time there to get that shoe back on and finish up her preparations. Let's welcome, please, Lane Clark and Mickey Hayden's entry, McLeod's TKO. Our crew making certain that all the rails are in place as they should be, making sure the competition is equal for all as they continue. Now, Lane Clark and McLeod's TKO. Well, it's just a single knockdown, a good time of 73.832. That's going to move right into 12th here with just the one remaining. 73.832, and that 4-fault score still good for prize money. Still missing one. And we hear from Drew Parker at the in-gate that Milano has had the shoe tacked back on, back up in the warm-up area to just put on a final preparation, which is only fair after the horse having to sit out for a few minutes to get that shoe put back on. So we'll recap here just quickly on our clears. Our 6 clears that will be joining us back in the jump-off. Again, our last to qualify there was Lourdan and Nael Nassar. We've got Whoop-de-Doo and Will Simpson Christian and Kyle King, Akuna Matata and Nicole Shahinian Simpson, Kiloseri Kidam and Julia Nagler, and of course Irkos 4 and Eberardo Hegovic. It's a really fast group. It ought to be a thrilling jump-off. Just one left to see here in round 1. So if you are not yet planning on attending the horse shows coming up in just a few weeks here, the continuation of the Temecula Valley National Horse Show Series. There are 3 exciting weeks yet to come in May, the final 3 weeks of May. Make sure you stop by the horse show office and let them know that you want to come back. Equisani develops and manufactures innovative and results-driven nutritional products for all performance horses. Lee McKeever, longtime manager for McLean Ward Stables, tells us that Equisani products have made a noticeable difference in his horses. Fast results, top performance, and a winning pair is the key reason that McLean Ward Stables uses the Equisani products. World-class riders like McLean swear by Equisani products, XFit and Gastro Power to keep their performance horses in superior physical shape season after season. You can stop by the LA Saddlery booth located here in the vendor area to learn more about all of the great products that Equisani offers. And I see now, as I look up, I see stepping through the gate our final competitor here in round number 1. Here's Mandy Porter and Milano. Milano, a 14-year-old gelding owned by Abigail Archer and a 2-time winner here in Temecula last year. Last to go now, Milano and Mandy Porter. Oh, yeah. 72.513 is a great time. It's a clear round. Milano and Mandy Porter will be back in the jump off. Now they have the final position. That can be a big boost here. You get to watch what the other riders do. You get to see where the turns can be made, and you know what you need to do to win the class. A great ride there from Mandy. Keep in mind, this combination were winners in this ring on 2 occasions last year. So we got a great jump off set to come. We are going to get the course changed. We are going to give a quick drag of the ring prior to moving into the jump off. So I think we're looking at about 10 minutes here until we bring our top 7 now back for the tiebreaker.